Ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
Space.
Ding, 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 ding.
There's a bell, you know, you could use that.
I never use it. Is this mine? Yeah, okay. No, that's yours. Good morning. Is the reflection too much off my head? Hi, I'm David Schaeffer. At least that's what my name tag says. I checked. and I welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Topeka. It's very good to see everybody here this morning. We're a welcoming congregation that cares not what your beliefs are, or your sexual orientation, or your politics. Mostly. All are welcome here. If this is your first time at UUFT, I want to extend a special warm welcome to you. It's great to have you with us. Please, when the basket is passed, just pass it on. This one's on us. However, if you missed our greeters table on your way in, please take a minute before you leave today and fill out our contact form. The greeters table is out next to our coffee bar. That'll really help us to get to know you a little bit better and how we can help serve your needs. And yes, in case you wondered, your coffee or other beverage is allowed in Scanlon Hall, which is where we are. Just please be careful with it. That means you. This week we will hear from our board president about our plans to move forward with our continuing plans to hire a minister and grow our programs here at UUFT. You will get a chance to chime in with your thoughts afterwards. Before I go, let me just remind you that should you decide to participate in our discussions today, you will be asked to use the mic to my left, and you will be broadcast live on our YouTube stream. The recordings of all our services are archived on YouTube and can be viewed on the UUFT streaming channel. And, as always, please mute your phones to be respectful to your neighbors and the speakers. That being said, here's Susanna Amelia with our chalice lighting, followed by Aaron Forstein with today's story for all ages.
This reading is from the worship web on the UUA, and it's by Summer Albayete. In betwixt and in between, we move in the liminal spaces that show shades of what can become, what can be. We light this chalice as a symbol of courage to move into that time of this and that, and not this and not that, with patience and faith and love and hope that this time will pass like the sun that moves in between rising and setting, reminding us that beauty resounds in betwixt and in between.
Good morning. Good morning. Testing, testing. Yay. All right, children, if you'd like to join me right up here, and I will read the story for all ages.
It sounded like a giant like tiger or something.
It sounded cool, didn't it?
It sounds like the Titanic when it's crashing into the iceberg.
Testing again. Is that better?
Maybe.
I'll talk very softly. Okay. Keep my head away.
That was a risky move there, Mom.
Our story for all ages today is when you are brave. And the pictures should be up on there. So if they are not, I will hold up, yes, the pictures. This is by Pat Zietlow Miller and illustrated by Eliza Wheeler. Testing one more time. Okay, that sounds better.
Let's hope it stays like that.
Some days, when everything around you seems scary, you have to be brave. Brave as a bird that steps from its nest, hoping to soar through the sky. Brave as a caterpillar that builds a bed, wondering when it will wake. Because some days are full of things you'd rather not do. Like plunging into a pool all by yourself, hoping you'll swim and not sink. Or standing alone in front of a crowd, searching for one friendly face. Or boarding the bus and riding to school, wondering what lies ahead. At times like these, the world can seem too big, too loud, too hard, too much.
That's why I like living in the country with my dad.
I like the country too. Yeah. While you feel too small, too quiet, too tired, not enough.
Yeah.
On those days, look deep inside to find the courage you need. It might be hidden away, but if you close your eyes and breathe, you will see it. Shining its light in the dark, warm, steady, safe. Your light might be small to start, just a spark, but you can turn it into a flame. Picture it in your mind. Can you picture it in your mind?
Sure.
Your own inner flame?
Yeah, why not?
Then imagine it becoming bigger and bolder. You can make your courage so big it brightens your heart, fills your fingers, and flows to your toes. Think about what you're good at, something you love, or someone who loves you. No one else will see it, but you'll know the glow, and you'll know you are ready. No matter how deep the water, how loud the crowd, how hard the ride, or how much there is to do, you might struggle, you might succeed, people might clap or laugh, or not notice at all.
How old was she? I can swim to the deep end to the...
Nice.
I can swim 20 feet in a pool when I was like 2.
Okay. No matter what happens, you'll be all right. Because once you find your courage, it's easy to use again and again the next time life seems scary or you start something new. You can remember when you were brave. And then you can stand straight and walk tall, knowing you are as brave as a bird, a dog, and a caterpillar. As brave as you.
The last
end.
word made no sense to me, but the other words did.
Let's think about it. Try to figure out how you can be as brave as you are.
I like that.
Because they don't on YouTube.
And then we
Now, let's see, who would like to carry the lantern?
Me.
Oh, who has not carried the lantern? Yes, okay. Arlo? No.
I'm gonna carry the
Eldon, carry the.
His name tag.
You can next time. It's right there. Let's follow Eldon to the classrooms.
I want me.
Everywhere you may go. Thank you, Aaron, if you can hear me. Of our garden. They look yummy. Please get some, take them home, consume them. On the west door, is that one? Yeah. Outside, there are some Stelladoro lilies in a can. If you want to plant some lily bulbs, please snag some of these on the way out. Last chance. Okay, so what's going on this week? 11:45 today, there's a parent meeting, a short meeting for all parents of youth in the program. Begins immediately following the program in the Spirit Playroom. At 1 p.m., there will be Spirit Play volunteer training in the Spirit Playroom. And Monday, that's Sunday, Monday at 6 p.m. in Scanlon Hall, right here in this room. Chuck Foz will have his Peaceful Heart Sangha meditation group. Please join that group if you have not done it. This is not an announcement for this week, but it's an announcement for next week. But I want you to all put it on your calendars, please. Saturday the 10th, okay, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. is our Spruce Up Saturday. You might have noticed that a lot of changes have taken place in Scanlon Hall. For example, we're patching the walls, we're going to be painting this wall, doing a bunch of other stuff, talking about what we're going to do about the coffee-colored carpet and the coffee-colored stains in the coffee-colored carpet. Say that 3 times fast. Your help is appreciated. So that is the 10th at 9 a.m. I believe Chuck may have a sign-up sheet somewhere on the sign-up table out there. Otherwise, give him a call. I said Chuck, didn't I?
Yeah, Bill.
Joe.
Thank you. I was waiting for there he is. We're talking about you and I called you Chuck. I don't know why. But anyway, just
Morning, afternoon,
okay.
unless you want to come for the whole day.
Yeah, which is always appreciated. Thank you, Joe. Any other announcements? We have a couple people who have announcements.
I'm Vicki, oh, is it turned on? Nope.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Vicki George. I got it. Gotcha, thank you. Okay, 2 things. One is for those people that are fairly new and interested in Unitarian Universalism, read my shirt. Interested in this place, possibly trying to figure out how you can become more involved, belonging, maybe down the road, joining. Jana and I are going to be doing monthly gatherings like that after service. There is pizza and salad. We'll be meeting in the Emerson room, so if it fits you in that category, and I know some of you have already responded. The other thing is next Sunday after service we have second Sunday lunch. Yay, we get to have start second.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, well, good, because then I'm gonna be haunting you with my computer, so that gives
would be
me
the 11th, right?
right. So that gives me another week to haunt you. Ah, lucky you guys. Okay.
Lana. And why don't you do your celebration, your joys and celebration also?
I will.
Do the whole thing.
I'll do my announcement first.
Yes.
For those who may still get a paper copy of your Capital Journal, you would have received this flyer in it today that is the Sertoma Great Topeka Duck Race. Okay? Now, the importance of this duck race is that proceeds from it, by buying a duck, go to a variety of different nonprofit organizations in Topeka. But I'm going to make a plug here this morning for the League of Women Voters, because you can designate an organization by buying these ducks. And if you designate the League of Women Voters, half of the proceeds will go to the League of Women Voters that you donate. And of course, we all know how important voter information and education is today. So I'm going to encourage you to buy some ducks. You just need to go to the Sertoma Duck Race website or to the League of Women Voters website, and you can buy some ducks. Okay. Joys and concerns. For the old-timers in this group, you know Nancy Kirk. Nancy Kirk had shoulder surgery about a month ago. That surgery, unfortunately, has left her left arm paralyzed. It is very devastating, and the situation doesn't have a great amount of hope for recovery, although all avenues will be pursued. Pre-surgery, post-surgery, and to this day, fortunately, Nancy has a group of about 11 volunteers helping her with various things that she needs help with, primarily transportation. But I just wanted to let you know, because this is really, I mean, it was just unexpected, devastating, you know, to the nth degree.
Okay. So continuing with joys and concerns, I only was able to glean one birthday for this week. I mean, you want to feel old if you've been around for a while. Jenny Lucero will turn 43 on August 29th. I know. How did that happen? Never mind. Yesterday, Bobbi and I and Jake and Skylar and Addie went to Deaf Awareness Day in Kansas City at the Nelson Atkins, and it was marvelous. That's a joy. The concern is Addie is not here running around going, "Grandpa, Grandpa," because she has a cough this morning, which is normal for a 3-year-old, Good one day, bad the next. Any other joys or concerns? Come on, Linda. Come on up. Yeah, as usual.
Besides having a 43-year-old granddaughter, we also have a 49-year-old son. But Tuesday it'll be 54 years for me and Bill.
I don't know how I missed that one. Anything else? Okay, with that, I will turn you over to Bobbi. And I thank you very much.
As you all know, we are preparing for a minister. What? Oh, David, you didn't do greening the basket.
Did I miss that? I apologize.
We will now green the basket. Our ushers will pass the basket, and we will have...
From you I receive,
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and by this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and by this we live.
And thank you for your kind donations to help support our organization. As you are all aware, we are preparing for a minister. What do we need to do as a fellowship community to prepare to welcome a minister? What are our expectations? Do we have a clear idea of what we want or need in mind? Perhaps the biggest question, do we need to review our goals and aspirations to know what our expectations of a minister would be and what role he or she would play? Do we need to do this work of clarification before we hire a minister? When the search committee began their work, they created a profile of our fellowship, and it included what we were looking for in our next minister. And by the way, we have voted to hire a minister, and now that the vote is cast, we need in good faith to carry out that mandate. Once the vote determines the outcome of an issue, the result is one that we all need to get behind. The democratic process supporting this is noted in the fifth principle, the right of conscience and the use of democratic process within our congregations and in society at large. So, with that being resolved, what are we looking for? The search committee intuited that we were looking for a minister who will be able to serve our community, collaborate with us, and assist us to build on the progress we are making as a fellowship post-COVID. Someone willing to work with the leadership of the fellowship, the program committee group, and the congregants to achieve the goal of providing a vibrant fellowship that works toward producing thought-provoking, informative program on Sunday morning and supporting a strong religious exploration program for our youth of all ages. These were primary, and then working with the pastoral care committee and other aspects currently making up our functioning fellowship. We strive to be an ethical organization acting honorably and in good faith with regard to our members and our staff, an organization that embodies Dr. King's vision of a beloved community, and an organization that supports the needs of our members and their families. We are an organization working to rebuild and to bring back previously important events and activities within our community. These activities include Dinners for 8 and Dinners for All, Second Sunday Lunch, Hugs and Kisses, Towel at Night, a strong young adult group, etc. I want to be perfectly clear. A minister cannot do everything. The process we are using is recommended by the UUA. It began with the selection and election of a search committee. That has been done. The search committee will be identifying priorities for a minister, interviewing candidates, and making a final candidate recommendation to the UUFT board. The board is then tasked with making the financial arrangements and ultimately hiring a minister. To help us in our process, the following comes from the UUA documents online. The regional subcommittees on candidacy of the UUA evaluate 16 qualities such as motivation, personality, maturity, integration with Unitarian Universalist culture, listening skills, empathy, and the ability to nurture the growth of others. When we are working within the UUA structure, we have access to these evaluations of individuals we are considering for hire. UU ministers serving congregations act as the spiritual and administrative leaders of their congregations. They lead worship services and give sermons, challenge and guide the congregation's spiritual focus, provide pastoral care and counseling, conduct special services, and represent Unitarian Universalists in the community. Ministers work closely with congregants' volunteer leaders in providing vision, direction, and day-to-day administration, often supervising staff. All congregationally based ministers lead in partnership with members of the congregation because the members get to choose whom they will call and settle as their minister, because of our commitment to congregational equality. We must remember the role and authority of a minister varies greatly from congregation to congregation. In adopting language in the ministerial contract agreement, we must be clear about the role of the minister in congregational governance. We need to be very clear and intentional about this aspect of the contract. If necessary, a member of the UUA congregational life staff can be made available to help the search committee and the board settle upon the appropriate management role for your next minister and get clear language regarding this in the contract. Clarifying the role of and the expectations for a minister will set the stage for a smooth operation of our fellowship. What do we need to do before a candidate is hired? When preparing for a search, the UUA recommends that we as a congregation clarify roles and responsibilities. What is the minister's role? What are the responsibilities of the board? The Board of Trustees is the legal face of the congregation. They have legal responsibility for everything that happens under their watch. We must review the congregation's mission and vision statements. And to find those, you just have to go out to this door as you come in, look to your right, and it's posted on the wall. Gather input from groups, RE and other committees, key individuals, and the congregation. Clarify what you want the candidate to provide. Confirm the budget, the term of contract, and the time you want. In other words, full-time, part-time, online, in-person, etc. Very important. We must let the committee do their work, and they will report to us regularly with updates as the process evolves. This committee was elected in a special meeting by this congregation, so we have given them the authority and the job of doing the work of the search. What do we need to provide for a minister that we hire? Firstly, of course, is the financial compensation and all that that entails. Salary, housing allowance, insurance, health, vision, dental, disability, life, the minister's professional development fund, the minister's discretionary fund, etc. I believe that just as important as the items I just listed, we need to provide something that is much more intangible. We need to provide a kind, supportive congregation. We must build an environment of trust and a healthy sense of shared leadership between the lay leaders and the minister, between the minister and the individuals that make up the congregation. We have in place a conflict resolution team. We must use that team to establish a process at the outset of the relationship with the minister to honor our commitments as a congregation throughout the tenure of their contract. If you wish to speak directly with the members of the search committee, they are as follows, and most of them are present today: Greg Monaco, Susanna Emilio, Jana Cook, Adele Racker, Linda Lucero, Don Chronister, and the newest member that we welcome to the task, Carolyn Peck. Thanks, Carolyn. They have a difficult task, and I know that this congregation is capable of supporting them in completion of that task. Now it's time for you as members to express your thoughts considering the information that I've presented here today. And as you leave service today, feel free to express your hopes and dreams as we continue to rebuild our fellowship. If you have programs such as dinners for all, hugs and quiches, etc., that you wish to see reinstated as we rebuild, please let us know. Newsprint is located on the wall to the right as you exit Scanlon. You may write on the paper directly or use Post-it notes provided. Be as honest and intentional as you can. Thank you.
So, just to be clear, on the back wall, next to the camera, please don't disturb the camera, are the lists, the newsprint that's up on the wall, and there's some questions on each one, and it'd be appreciated if you would take a look at that sometime on your way out. Meanwhile, as Bobbi has stated, and as we all know, everyone here, except maybe our visitors, have an opinion on the direction that we're going and what they would like to see in the future. So, the microphone is open. I welcome you to it. And who's going to be first? Rob.
My name is Rob Cook. Yes, great flexibility on every... Hello?
Yeah, it's there.
Great flexibility on everyone's part, including the minister's part, will be necessary.
I think the important part is cooperation between us and any minister that would take the pulpit. Okay, who's next? I know you all have opinions. Let's hear them. Everybody wants to go home to lunch early, huh? Sure, come on up. Introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jenna. I graduated from our youth program in 2019, and I've circled back from college. So, yeah, in terms of like a future minister, I remember when I was growing up through our youth program, that Reverend Sarah was very involved in like supporting and facilitating youth voices. So I just wanted to like put that out there as something that was very impactful for me. So.
Thank you, Jenna. Welcome back. We're glad to see you. Bring friends. Anyone else? Bill?
Hello, I'm Bill Griffiths. In terms of the statement of expectations, from an HR background myself, I think it would be useful, in addition to a general statement of expectations, to give a percentage for each of the different functions we expect. So maybe pastoral care, 30%, you know, or whatever. With a general statement, then I think there could be a disagreement on how much of their time is spent on one. But with the different expectations we have, if there would be some percentage, so we give at least some guidance on how much of their time we expect to be devoted to a specific function.
That's a good one, Bill. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Would you consider the percentage should be a percentage of how we see its importance or the amount of time they would spend on that activity?
To me, it would be time,
Okay,
primarily, although, you know, if you spend a lot of time on something,
obviously.
you're
it's more
implicitly saying that's important, but I think there are certain functions that do just take more time.
True. Thank you, Bill. Nice to know that you have an HR background. Shh, shh. Raymond.
My name is Raymond Powers. We do need to remember that essentially bringing a minister to achieve the goals and objectives of this congregation, it is our missions, our goals, our objectives that are the key, and the minister will come to help enhance that. There's a principle in leadership that's emerging these days called servant leadership, and I'm hoping that's the kind of model that would be at work here, where the minister comes in and with us identifies those goals and objectives, and we together move that all forward so there's not a disjunction between the goals and objectives of the fellowship and the goals and objectives of a minister.
Thank you. Please.
I mean, as much as I've really, I think that we've done a great job in taking over with all the programs and steering our congregation. I kind of miss the, I would say, like a trained ear for guiding our pastoral care and our ministerial counseling. And then I miss having a greater representation in our community. I feel like that's something that I look forward to having from a minister. And yeah, just those two things. I kind of miss the spiritual bent that our services used to have, and just the guidance from someone trained in theology. So.
Thank you. Thank you. I have a question for the committee. Greg, you have been the chair in the past. Did the committee have a chance to elect a new chair? It's Greg? And Greg Monaco. And thank you, Greg, for taking that on.
Susanna is the secretary.
You want to repeat that?
Jana is the secretary?
Susanna.
Susanna, I'm sorry. I need to turn my hearing aids up. I can only go up so far, right? And thank you, both of you, for taking that on. And everyone on the committee. It's a daunting task. I've done it myself. So, anyone else? I would say speak now or forever hold your peace, but we're Unitarians. We never hold our peace. So, come on down.
I'm Alan Foster, and I want to build a little on what Raymond said. I was worried when Sarah left that there didn't seem to be a good sense of lay leadership in the fellowship, but people seem to have stepped up really, really well, and things have kept going pretty well without a minister. But there's still holes in things like pastoral care, and the little things are easy. not easy. The little things can be handled by volunteers, but then, like one of the members of the Sunday morning book group died maybe 6 months ago, and her family wanted to have a service here, and we thought, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? But one of our members' daughters is a minister, and she sent us this really nice full agenda of a service, and we got it done pretty well. But if things like that happen very often, that would be really onerous. And so and things like spiritual a little in spiritual programming, but also Sarah did a lot of small group spiritual kind of things that were really wonderful, and things like that kind of fall by the wayside without a minister. So, but back to the lay leadership part, that's something I think, well, I'm sure the committee will talk about that a lot, but maybe we need to have other conversations in the fellowship, because some people assume the minister does everything, and so as soon as you hire a minister, volunteer, you don't need volunteers anymore for anything, and that's one model, I guess, although I'm sure you can't find many ministers that would be willing to take on a model like that. But the other model is the board of directors or whoever control everything, and the minister is just kind of somebody they tell what to do. And so there's all kinds of things in between those two extremes that are really important in the success of maybe you could look at it, the success of a minister, but more importantly, the success of the fellowship, and how well it works for everybody, finding that right blend of minister leadership and lay leadership. And that's caused us some problems in the past, and I think people's willingness for lay leadership has ebbed and flowed, we've often not found that right balance, but that's something it's easier to find that balance if people think about it ahead of time, I think.
Thank you, Alan. Janine.
Yeah, I'm Janine Silsby, and I think the original question was our thoughts on the direction that the fellowship's going, and I saw that as a bigger picture than just a minister. But for those of us that have been around a while, this is not going to sound new when I say this, but I hope the direction is in the direction of growth, more diversity, that we are seeing, that our profile is higher in the community as a safe place for those of liberal spiritual leanings. But as Alan was talking, I was thinking growth and youth and children's RE has always been a pretty major thing for us. And look what we had down here this morning, because we have professional leadership in that area.
Sure.
And we lost a number of people when we lost professional leadership. There is something about that helps to bind a place together. It doesn't mean that everything's done their way, but there's a cohesion with that we don't have, and I don't think any group can have very well without that professional leadership. So growth being, there are a lot more people in the Topeka community that, you have friends that you know would be at home here, and sometimes people from your past. So yes, I think growth, and especially the raising of children, not just providing them programming, but so many of us raised those 40-year-olds that were children here. I have some of those as well, and it's because this is a community that I joined because I wanted a place for my children. But as they got older and moved on in their lives, I realized I knew this before, I also wanted a place to grow, for me, to grow old with like-minded people who are very, again, the next generation is very important too.
Thank you, Janine. I'm going to mention this. It's semi-trivial. Oh, I'm sorry, Walt, please. No, you first.
My name is Walt Racker. I'm a longtime member and a longtime former treasurer. The decision to engage a minister is going to be a long-term commitment, like a mortgage or a marriage, and whomever we invite to become our minister and eventually a settled minister will probably bring a family, have to buy a house, get settled into our community. None of that's going to happen if we don't have the money to keep going. So I'm sure we can expect a big influx of enthusiasm and money to begin with, but we can't find ourselves in a manner where we have to do a GoFundMe or a car wash or something to make next month's payroll. So the financial aspects are very important, very serious, and I'd like to know that we have a plan in place before we engage in that relationship. Thanks.
Janine, when you recruited me to raise that money, did you tell me that I was going to? Yeah, I guess. Okay, so I have a book that you might be interested in. If you're interested in the process of what the search committee goes through, there's a fictional account of a real search. And the name of the book is Search. And it's a UU church in California that was looking for a minister. And the ups and downs, combinations and permutations of people on the committee, who they were, why they were, how did the search function. I mean, it's a very interesting book. So it's available through the library electronically. I don't know if they have it in stock in paper, but it is available on Amazon also. And it's very interesting. Anyone else? And by the way, I will be contacting you in the beginning of next year to talk about money. That's my job. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, well then I will say thank you for listening to me and hand you back to Bobbi.
In closing, we are continuing the very important task of identifying and hiring an individual to walk in partnership with us here at UUFT in the leadership and development of this congregation that means so much to us. We have an excellent search committee. They have proven their abilities in the initial search. We must trust ourselves, our search committee, and our leadership in this ongoing process. I believe that we are all united in our quest to take this fellowship into the future, and it will take all of us to achieve this endeavor. Each of us must play our part in the process. We need to be united in giving of our time, talent, and treasure to ensure that we can achieve our goals. Go in peace until we meet again, and please put things in writing that you want to see happen. Thank you. I appreciate it. just want to